Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm really sorry that I'm talking quite quietly, but I'm actually going to do a live voiceover. So as I'm recording, I'm actually talking because I think we all need a little bit of air. I've been asked lots of times to do like a sculpting kind of thing, how I apply my forms and stuff, so I'm just going to kind of basically go through that with you. But I do have a sleeping baby, so I have to be quite quiet, so I'm really pray that you can hear me okay. So first off, I'm just taking my cuticle pusher, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push back these cuticles on the thumb. And after this, I would normally get my e-file cuticle clean and just go around these side walls and the thumb, but I'm not actually going to do it in this video because I don't have my drill upstairs. Then I'm going to take a file and I'm just going to buff over this. I'm just going to do this off camera because I can't do it in front of the camera, but I will show you actually filing the acrylic nail once it's done. But I'm just going to go and file over this and then I will be back. So a very big important factor of when you're sculpting nails is most definitely your form. You really want to have it narrow as well. What I do is I take the tab off and I stick it on the back, and then I really like wiggle this so it's really narrow, because if you're going to stick it on your nail, let's see if I can show you, you're going to put it on and you leave it, then you're going to build and you stick it, you're then going to build out this nail, and you're just going to end up, you're going to try and compensate for this area here, and you're going to build your nail right out, and it's going to be too wide, and you're going to end up with a fat wide nail that's then flaring out from the side walls, which you don't want. So you want to like pinch it from here like this, so what you're building is actually going to be narrow and not fat. You're building it inwards, you see that? So it's fit completely flush to the nail, there's no gap, there's no step, and my side wall is also, so I can build in from this without filing that away. You also want to check that it is even and straight. If it's not straight when you're looking down, see how that's completely straight, you're going to end up with a wonky nail, and that's not good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the CJP Dehydrator Prep, and I'm going to pop this onto the nail. And this is just Dehydrator, so you know it doesn't matter if you get it on the skin. I'm just going to apply 2 coats of this, making sure you're getting all of that nail plate, and then you're going to allow that to dry. As you can see, it's going chalky. After that's dry, I'm then going to go in with the acid bond, and I'm going to really use this sparingly, because if you use too much primer you can actually do the opposite effect. So what I do is I take it out and I just blot it on the paper towel, and then I put it onto the nail. With acid, you don't want to touch your skin. You can give yourself chemical burns. I'm really praying as well that this video doesn't come out super loud. And then I will allow that one to dry. And while that's drying, I will then like place my monomer and powder, which I already have here. Okay, I'm going to try and get it all in shot if I can, which I might not be able to. Okay, so I'll go in and blot the acid primer, and then I'll just place this onto the nail like so. And I'll make sure that I put that away. So what I'm going to do is I'm using the CJP 10 brush here, and I'm going to completely dip it into my monomer, and then I'm going to scrape off one whole side. I'm going to place it in my powder. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and there is my bead. As you can see, it's quite dry. That's exactly how I want it, and I'm just going to place it onto the joint. It's still a bit dry, probably too dry. And then I'm just going to pat this. I'm going to walk it from side to side, and I'm going to pat it. Patting is more important than dragging. You want to make it even. So pat it from side to side. See this nail sidewall? This is where I'm coming in from. I'm not going out like this to make it wide. I'm just going to pull it in slightly, so we're going for a slight coffin, only because I already have coffin on my other fingers and I don't want to look really odd. So I'm walking from side to side, pushing it in. Look, see how I'm working my brush? I'm coming in and I'm rolling. Push, pat, 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 push up, roll over and pat, pat. Then you want to sort out your free edge. Push, roll, pat, 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 pat. Push, roll, pat, 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 pat. Now you can see that that acrylic is even. I've patted it completely even. Okay, let's try again because I think the baby's waking up now, so I do apologise. Into my powder for 3. That is what it looks like. Place, pat. If you need to, just pop a little bit more in the monomer, your brush, and then start moulding your bead. You're going to walk it from the sides. Now, you're not going to push it out here. You're going to push your brush on the side and you're going to slant it and you're going to drag. So that where you're dragging that bead is going into the centre of the nail and not making your side walls huge. Into the centre. Pat, 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 pat. This is so awkward doing this completely live as well, because normally I kind of edit out. Into the monomer, drag up one side, into my powder, 1, 2, 3. This is my cuticle bead. I'm going to place at the cuticle, allow it to self level, and I'm just going to pat, 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 drag, pat, 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 pat. Drag. See how I've missed a little bit there, so I'll just go in with the tip of my brush and then again pat, 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 all the way down the entire surface of the nail. If we take a look, I really hope I didn't fall out of shot then. That is the nail. You can see where you may have missed bits, so that is my side view. So as you can see, this bit here, if I leave that as it is, that is going to be a weak enhancement, so I'm just going to go back in my monomer. And I'm going to take my acrylic and I'm going to blot it. And I'm just going to place right there and I'm going to push in. Because I still don't want the nail coming out fat. I'm just going to blend it to the middle. Then I will turn my brush around and do the same. So now that bit there is not going to be weak. Because if you leave that, that leaves your enhancement prone to breakages at this area. So I think that looks kind of good. But what I need to do here, as you can see, like the apex comes up just where I've applied that, and I think we could probably do with a tiny little bit more to blend down here. But we can file that. You don't want to keep adding and adding and adding, so then you end up with a really huge thick nail, because that's not the case. You can just file it into a perfect apex. You don't need to keep adding and adding. You always want to go from side. Place your brush so it's facing inwards, side, centre. And that way you're just going to make that, what you're applying, even. Pat, pat, pat. See, we have like a ridge here. See, we've got, if I can see, it's got like a tiny little ridge here. And I am just going to place a tiny little bit of acrylic there, but not a lot. That is just to even that ridge out, really. It's quite wet. Okay, you can see the structure of that nail. And when this is dry, we're going to pinch it. This nail has now gone matte, and I'm just going to take my pinching tool and I'm going to place it right on them side walls. And I'm going to pinch this nail. and I will just leave that there now. If I was doing this on a client, I would then move on to the next nail and start doing whatever I'm doing on that, and then I would come back. So I'm just going to leave this now to pinch, and then I will come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so this nail is pinched. As you can see, it was a tiny little bit not set on this side, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to file that away anyway. That is the curve. If you wanted to, you can take your fingers and just pinch that more. As you can see, can you see there that it's going more? Obviously, the more C-curve you can get in your nail, the stronger your nail will be, because you hit it, and it brings that strength into the middle of the nail as well. So a good C-curve makes a good nail. To tell if your nail is set, if you listen when I hit it, it's a strong, high-pitched sound. If it was to make like a thud, like a dull, that wouldn't be set, but this is. So then what I will do is I'll take my file and I will go position my file like this, and I'll place it up the side walls, and then down the side walls. Please excuse, you can hear the baby. She's not in the same room as me, she's actually in her own room just next door, but she is awake, so I may have to like quit this voiceover and come back to this nail. And then obviously your free edge, sometimes to get it nice and straight you can just flatten your file like this. It's really difficult to kind of file, but I'm really trying to show you all on camera, but it's hard to get a good aim. So just position your file inwards so that you're not taking away that bit to make it weak, because that's really easy to do. You're actually just positioning your file straight out from them sidewalls, so you are positioning it to make a nice flat straight sidewall. Same goes for this side. Go in and over, in and over. If you're going to keep filing like this, you're going to take away this bit here, which is then going to leave again your breakages. Then when I'm happy with that, I'll kind of just go up, and over, but I can't do this on film, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish filing, and then I will come back. There's the finished nail, filed and buffed. You want to just check it from all angles, so that way, it's good. Your side, good apex, good C-curve, good shape, and that really all there is to it. I hope I've explained it well, and then I will just do whatever design I want to do on that nail. So I hope I've helped or helped some of you out. I hope you've enjoyed the kind of live voiceover, and I will see you all again in my next video. Bye.